So let's get started on the mat, just seated in a comfortable position, feeling your breath come and go, rolling those shoulders back and down, pressing them away from the ears, and rising up through the spine, all the way from the tailbone through the top of the head. Inhaling the arms up above, and we'll drop the right hand down, leaning your weight into the hand, stretching out that left side. Just make sure your left hip doesn't come up off of the mat. Inhaling up to the center, and we'll drop to the other side, stretching out the other side, pressing those shoulders away from the ears. Rising up in the middle, and let's go ahead, fold it forward. Breathing here, let the shoulders open up. And we'll roll ourselves up, rising the arms overhead, dropping down to the left again, opening up the right side, breathing there. And rising into the middle, drop it down to the other side, stretching it out. Rising the arms back again to the center, and let's fold it forward. Just being patient with the body, getting a nice stretch through the shoulders, down the back, and the outsides of the hips. Keeping your breath steady. And let's go ahead, roll it up. We're going to take the forearm across the body, stretching out that shoulder to the side. Open the arms up wide, and we'll go on the other side. Release the arm and open them back behind you, rising them up overhead, and let's clasp the hands behind us, pushing those shoulders away from the ears, opening up the chest and the throat, gazes up toward the ceiling. And we'll just dip one ear to one shoulder, holding it there, and going on the other side, holding it there, keeping those hands clasped. Releasing the hands now, and we'll go for a couple neck rolls. Just rolling side to side, bringing the ear to the shoulder and the chin to the chest on each roll. Breathing here. Dipping the right ear to the right shoulder, you can place your hand on top if you like, extending the left hand out beside you if it feels good. Breathing there. Going over to the other side, dipping the left ear to the left shoulder, opening out that right hand beside you if you like. Breathing, letting that neck gently stretch open, not putting too much pressure on the hand, just a little bit of added weight there. We'll go ahead and make our way onto all fours now. Hands and knees, making sure the hands are straight down under the shoulders and the knees line up directly under the hip. We'll go for a couple cat-cows, arching the spine up to the sky, tuck that chin into the chest for cat, and dropping it down for cow. Arching up cat, dropping down cow, feeling each vertebra stretching open and closed as you move between these two positions. I'll turn sideways so you can see here. Continuing in cow, up into the cat. Using your breath, inhaling up cow, exhaling arch the back for cat. Inhaling up, exhale arch. Coming back to neutral, we'll go for our thread the needle, opening up the left arm overhead and exhaling it down and through your right arm, palm facing up to the ceiling, pressing into that shoulder. If it feels good, you can extend the right arm and leg straight out, or even raise the right leg behind you. doing what feels good for you in the pose, and breathing here. Lowering that knee back down, bringing in the hand, and we'll inhale the left arm back up and lower it back into neutral. Rising up on the right now, breathe it in, exhale out, threading through the arm. Again, if you'd like to extend the arm and leg here, feel free. And if you'd like to lift the left leg, gives a little deeper stretch into the shoulder and a little challenge on the balance. Drawing the knee now back onto the mat and under that left hip, and rising open the arm. And we'll just walk the hands out, drop the chest here. We're keeping our hips high into our puppy pose. Breathing here, chest is down toward the mat. I'll turn and show you from the side. Dropping just the chest, leaving those hips high. Forehead coming down to the mat if it feels good. And just feeling that long stretch down the backs of the shoulders. Walking those hands back now, let's sit the hips onto the heels. Inhaling, clasp those hands behind you. Stretching open the chest, the shoulders pressing down. Gaze is lifted toward the ceiling. We're going to inhale, rise up onto the knees. And exhale, drop it all the way down, coming into a child's pose. Folding yourself into a tight ball here. Inhale, rise it up. Drop the right arm back, reaching for that right heel, coming into our half camel pose. If it's too deep a stretch for you, leave that right hand on the hip and just go for a slight back bend. Inhaling, rise it up. Exhale, curling down into a child's pose, breathing there. Inhale, rising all the way back up, and we'll drop the right hand down, opening up for our half camel on the other side. Again, a variation is to bring the hand onto the hip. Inhale it up, exhaling down, child's pose, curl into that tight ball. And we'll go ahead, sit it back up in our heroes. Coming onto all fours now, we'll go into our first downward facing dog. Tucking those toes under, and let's press it back, pedaling out the feet, opening up those hamstrings. Spine is reaching long, and your neck is soft, no tension holding in the neck. You can alternate rising on the toes and pressing back the heels, giving the hamstrings a chance to open up, and the tailbone reaches up to the sky with each press of the heels. Shifting the weight forward into our high plank, and lower it down, chaturanga. Opening up cobra or up dog, and tucking the toes back under, pressing it back, downward facing dog. Looking up between the hands, let's step it forward into our first forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, releasing down to the floor. Inhale, rolling all the way up. Exhaling the arms high and into heart center. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, heart center. Stepping the feet hip width apart, we'll inhale the arms up and sit the hips back into our chair pose. Inhale, hands to heart center. Exhale, rise it up and forward fold. Breathing there, we'll step it back into our downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lowering down, chaturanga. Inhaling up, cobra or up dog. Exhaling, drop it down, tuck the toes. Pressing into our downward facing dog. Breathing here. Looking up between the hands, step it forward, forward fold. Inhale it up. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Inhaling all the way up again. Exhale, fold, reaching for those toes, bending from the hips. You can pedal out the feet here if you like, releasing those hamstrings further. Breathing here. And we'll step it back, downward facing dog. We'll shift the weight forward, bending the right knee to the right elbow, and push it out for a three-legged dog. Bringing it across to the left elbow, press it out for a three-legged dog. Back around to the right elbow, pressing out three-legged dog. Into the left elbow, pressing it out three-legged dog. Dropping the leg back for our down dog. Shift the weight forward for a high plank. Exhale it back, down dog. Inhale forward, high plank. Exhale it back, down dog. Looking up between the hands, let's step it forward for our forward fold. Rolling it all the way up. Inhale the arms high. Exhaling into heart center. Inhale, rise the arms. Exhale, fold, reaching for those toes. And stepping it back out, downward facing dog. We'll shift the weight forward, coming for our high plank. Exhale, lower it down, chaturanga. Inhaling up, cobra. Exhaling, release it down. Tuck the toes, pressing back, downward facing dog. We'll go for our knee to elbow on the left side now. Shifting the weight into high plank. Bending that left knee into the elbow. Press it out, three-legged dog. Across the body to the right elbow, press it out. Back over into the left, press it out. And crossing the body over to the right, press it out, three-legged dog. Dropping the foot into your down dog. Looking up between the hands, step it forward into your forward fold. We'll come into our ragdoll, taking a hold of either elbow, leaving the top half of the body nice and loose. We'll just sway side to side, releasing the full spine. Neck is soft, no tension holding in the body. And release back to your forward fold. Inhale, rolling all the way up. Inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, reach for the toes. We're going to step it back, downward facing dog. We're going to inhale, forward high plank. Exhale, turning it up into our up dog. Tucking the toes, pressing back, down dog. Inhaling, shift into your up dog. Exhaling, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. From here, rise the right leg up behind you. Give a bend in the knee and open up that hip, looking out under the right armpit. Breathing, stretching there. We'll close the hip and bring the knee all the way forward onto the mat, moving into our pigeon pose on the right side. Before you lower, just make sure you are square on the hips, not leaning to one side or the other, and then feel free to lower down. I'm just going to turn sideways here so you can see getting into the pose from the side here. Making sure that back foot is flat out behind you, not up on the toes. You can lower down all the way flat, or you can come up on the hands if that feels more comfortable, or even on the forearms, just taking it to a level that's comfortable for you, and breathing here in the pigeon pose. Planting the hands back under, let's go ahead, rise it up, pushing that leg back, three-legged dog, and lowering it down into our downward dog. Let's flow it out, inhaling high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling up dog or cobra. Exhaling, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Stepping it forward, forward fold. Inhale, rising the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Stepping back, downward facing dog. We'll take it to the left side now, rising the left leg, opening up that hip, bending the knee. Look out under the left armpit. Breathing there. And we'll lower the knee, shift it forward, dropping that knee down on the mat into your pigeon pose on the left. Once again, testing your hips are square before lowering down into the pose. Rising up onto the hands from the pigeon, let's go ahead, tuck the right toes under and push that left leg back and out, lowering it into your downward facing dog. And we'll flow it out. Inhaling, look up to the top of the mat, stepping forward into your forward fold. Deep inhale, let's roll it up, arms up overhead. Exhaling, folding down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling all the way up. Exhale, those arms high. Inhaling, stretch it out. Exhale, fold it down. Breathing here, holding our forward fold. We'll go ahead, roll it up, stepping the feet hip width apart. We're going to inhale the arms up, exhaling the hips back and down into our chair pose. Hands moving to heart center, and we'll go for a twist here, bringing the right elbow down to the left knee. Making sure your knees are in line with each other, don't let one jut out in front of the other. If you'd like to open up the arms here in your twist, feel free. Chest is open, shoulders are pressing away from the ears. Bringing the hands to heart center, let's inhale, rise it up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, rolling all the way up, and exhaling back down into your chair. Bringing hands to heart center, and we'll twist to the other side. Left elbow to the right knee. Opening up the arms if you like, opening that chest wide, shoulders pushing away from the ears, and holding strong in your chair. Bringing those hands back to heart center, let's rise it up. Inhale. Exhale, folding down. Let's step it out into our downward facing dog. Breathing here, 3 breaths. We're going to step the right foot up in between the hands and rise it up into our high lunge. You're up on your toes, knee is square over the ankle, shoulders are pressing away from the ears. Bringing the hands to heart center, let's extend them back. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, heart center. Inhale back. Exhale it up. Inhaling heart center. And let's drop it down, grounding that back foot and straightening out the front leg into our pyramid pose. You can bring the hands to the shin, the ankle, or the floor, wherever feels best while you're bending from the hip, extending that spine out long, not hunching the back. Inhale, bend that leg, and we'll rise it up into a warrior 1. Pushing the shoulders away from the ears. Ankle is in line with the knee. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, folding back down into your pyramid. Plant the hands and let's step it back into our downward facing dog. Shifting the weight forward, high plank. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. Pressing those heels toward the mat. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll go on the left side now, stepping that left leg forward. And once you get into your balance, we'll rise it up into our high lunge on the left. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling into the heart center. Inhale them back. Exhale up. Inhale, heart center. Exhale them back. Inhale, heart center. Exhale back. Inhaling up. And exhaling, folding over that foot. Let's ground down the back leg. Stretching out into our pyramid pose. Again on the shin, ankle, or the floor. Stretching from the hip. Spine is nice and long. Chest is reaching toward the thigh. And nose toward the knee. Inhale, bend the knee, rise it up into your warrior one. You can leave the arms in the sky or bring them out behind you or even into the heart center. Just making sure those shoulders are pressed away from the ears and the knee is in line with the ankle. Let's fold it forward, stepping back into our downward facing dog. Inhale, forward into high plank. Exhaling, chaturanga. And inhaling up, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Looking up between the hands, let's step it forward into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Spine is long. Exhaling, fold it all the way down. Inhale, rolling it all the way up. Exhaling those arms high and into the heart center. So we'll come into our balancing poses now, starting by stacking the right foot in front of the left. So you'll line the left toe right behind the right heel and open up the arms, getting your balance there. And for added challenge, you can close the eyes here, trying to maintain balance. Opening up the eyes, and we'll go on the other side. Just pedal out the feet. And we'll line the right toe right behind that left heel, opening up our arms, pressing the shoulders away, going for a balance. Closing down the eyes for the added challenge here. Releasing the pose here, and we'll go for our next balance. So grounding down through the right leg, we'll bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, rising up the left knee. Staring at a spot in front of you that's not moving. And you'll shift your weight forward into our warrior three, extending that left leg out behind you. And you can bring the arms in front or behind you, whatever feels better. Rising that knee back up and releasing to the floor. Very good. We'll go on the other side now, pedaling out the feet. And we'll ground through the left. Rising up that right knee. And shifting the weight forward into our warrior three. Extending long through the spine, fingertips are reaching toward the front, or you can push them back behind you. Rising that knee back forward, and releasing the foot down to the ground. Very nice. Coming into our next balance, we're going to ground down through the right foot, and your left knee is going to come up, this time taking the inside of the knee. Balancing there. And then you're going to shift open the knee to the left and your gaze is coming over to the right. Shifting the knee back center and your gaze back center. Release the leg. Pedaling out the feet. Grounding down now into the left foot. Rising up that right knee. Taking the inside of the knee. Get your focal point. Shifting the knee out to the right, your gaze coming to the left. And closing the knee back forward, gaze comes back forward. Release the foot. Very good. Into our final balance now. Ground through the right foot, opening the left hip, and rise that knee out open. Shifting the knee into the center. And release your hand, letting the knee stay up. Release the foot to the ground. Coming in on the other side, we'll ground down through the left foot, opening up the right hip. Rising up the knee open, take a hold. Shifting it into the center. Releasing the hand from the knee, and finally lowering down the knee. Let's flow it out. Big inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. Stepping back, downward facing dog. Inhaling, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Drop the knees down as wide as the mat here. And push the hips back onto the heels, dropping the forehead to the mat into a wide-legged child's pose. Breathe here, let the body relax. And we'll go ahead, rise it up onto all fours, tucking the toes under, downward facing dog. Bringing the right leg up behind in three-legged dog and plant it forward in between the hands on the mat. Grounding that back foot, let's lift it up, warrior one. Inhale, arms back. Exhale, heart center. Inhale it up. Exhale, heart center. Inhaling back. Exhaling, heart center. Step it forward, raise the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. Stepping back, downward facing dog. Holding here. Going on the other side, lifting that left leg up, three-legged dog, and shifting it forward, planting between the hands. Plant down that back foot, and inhaling up into your warrior one. Exhaling, heart center. Inhale, press the arms back. Exhale, heart center. Inhaling up. Exhale, heart center. Inhale it back. Exhale, heart center, and let's step it up. Breathing open into our mountain. And exhaling, forward fold. Deep inhale now, rolling all the way up into mountain pose. And we'll come down on a seated position on the mat. Soles of the feet on the mat, knees are bent, and hands are coming behind the thighs. We're going to inhale, press that chest forward between the knees, open up the throat. Exhale, curving the spine back. Inhale, forward. Exhale it back, chin to chest. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back, coming through seated cat-cows here. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. Bringing the spine back to neutral, we'll come into our boat pose. So balancing up on the sit bones, rising the legs out. When you feel good, you can release the arms open. Leaving that spine nice and long, all the way from the crown of the head to the bottom of the spine. Opening the knees out into our butterfly pose. Stretch open the spine, fold it forward. Rolling yourself back up, let's bring the soles of the feet back onto the mat. Lengthen through that spine and then lift up into your boat pose. Now you can open the arms up wide to the side if you like, or bring hands into heart center. Whatever feels best for you, as long as the spine is staying nice and straight. Dropping the feet into butterfly, extend the spine and fold it forward. Reaching the chest toward the feet, bending from the hips. Rolling yourself back up, soles of the feet onto the mat. Coming into our final boat. Extending the spine long, feet are raising, opening up the arms. Breathing here, squeezing those abdominal muscles. Lower the feet down to the mat, inhaling the arms up, and we'll fold forward into our butterfly. Reaching the arms out long, bending from the hips. Breathing here, having patience with your body. Letting the hips open as much as feels good for you, where you get a good stretch. Rolling back up, and let's extend the legs out long into our staff pose, making sure the spine is staying nice and long. We're going to inhale those arms up. Exhale, reaching out for the toes, bending from the hips, and extending the arms from there. You can bring them onto the shins or the ankles, wherever feels best for you. Rolling back up, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhaling, reach out over the toes. Breathing here, not coming into any point of pain. Just feeling the stretch all the way down the backs of the legs and down the shoulders and back. Rolling back up, we'll take the peace fingers and take a hold of the left big toe. And you're just going to extend that leg out in front of you as much as you can, pressing through the heel, and open up the right arm. Breathing there, balancing, working on extending that left leg. Dropping it down to the mat, inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling it up, taking it to the other side. Peace fingers into the right big toe. Extend that leg out long, pressing through the heel. Opening up the left arm, you can take your gaze over to the left. Breathing and balancing there, pressing through the heel. And release the leg down to the mat. Inhale up. Exhaling, heart center. Bring the soles of the feet back onto the mat. We'll take the peace fingers onto the right big toe. And this time open up the hip. Holding that foot open a little to the right. Release it down to the mat. Taking the left toe. Open that hip over to the left. And releasing the foot, we'll come into our seated happy baby. Taking both toes and the fingers, roll those shoulders back and down. And we'll open both hips at once. Balancing there, keep that spine nice and long. Try not to hunch the back forward. Releasing the feet back down, very nice. Coming back into our seated cat-cows, pushing forward for cow, bending it back for cat. Inhale forward, exhaling it back. Inhale forward, and exhale back. Come into our fish pose now, extending the legs out in front of you. And we're going to tuck the hands under the bum, palms facing down into the mat. Roll those shoulders back and down and lower onto your forearms. Opening up that chest nice and broad, pushing it up toward the ceiling. We'll gently drop back on the top of the head if that feels good. Or you can stay there on your forearms, working on just opening the chest from here. breathing in your pose. And we'll flatten out all the way down, bringing the knees into the chest, and we'll give a little rock side to side, massaging the spine there. Opening up the hips, we'll take the soles of the feet into either hand, into our happy baby, rocking side to side if you like, breathing here, pressing those shoulders down toward the mat. Bringing both knees together, we're going to drop them both over to the left, opening up the right arm and looking out over the right. In a reclining spinal twist here, so gaze is coming right, knees are falling left. Breathing there, relaxing down into the stretch. Inhaling the knees back into the center, and we'll drop them off to the right, extending the left arm and bringing our gaze out to the left. You can place your right hand onto the knees if you like, helping you stretch into the twist here. Breathing, relaxing the body. We'll inhale the knees back into the center and all the way out and down, coming into our final pose of Shavasana. Letting the hands rest open beside you. The feet are splayed out, falling into their natural position. Breathing here, and feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you like, leaving the eyes closed down, letting the thoughts melt away. Your breath is steady, your mind is quiet. Letting go of anything you have to do, anywhere you have to be. Just dedicate a few minutes here in silence, giving yourself gratitude for doing this practice today. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.